Who's actually running the country? Is it Starmer or is it Tony Blair? Because once again, it seems like we have been hoodwinked by this Labour government. It seems they have lied to us every step of the way. Mr. Blair has been a loud voice advocating for ID cards. In 2006, while Blair was Prime Minister, the Identity Cards Act 2006 was enacted. Its aim was to introduce compulsory ID cards linked to a national identity register. The Conservative Lib Dem coalition government repealed the act in 2010, and apparently Labour have been against the idea of introducing ID cards. Well, it seems they're not actually against the idea, they are just against letting us know that they want ID cards. In July this year, Yvette Cooper said ID cards were not in the party's election manifesto and added, "That's not our approach." So was this another Labour lie? Well, in my opinion, almost certainly. I think this is what we have all come to expect now from this government. It's lie after lie after lie. Let's take a look at this article from The Independent in July this year. It says, Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds initially said the government will be looking at all sorts of things and he did not want to preempt that work. But he did an interview nearly 2 hours later and he said, "I can rule out ID cards for you. That's not something which is part of our plans." So, isn't that a bit strange? 2 hours later, he turns around and says that's not something which is part of our plans. So what happened here seems quite clear to me. In my opinion, of course, he was told to shut up. Don't let the cat out of the bag. Just tell them we're not doing digital IDs. And once we're in power, we can do whatever we like, even if we promise not to do it in our manifesto. And this isn't even the first time this has happened before. They lied back in 2012. Apparently, there was a secret paper revealing Labour's lies over ID cards then. The article says, the government faces damaging claims of misleading voters over ID cards after documents revealed it always planned to make the controversial scheme compulsory. Whitehall papers, which the government has fought for 2 years to suppress, disclosed that Labour intended to force the public to sign up to the programme. They appear to contradict commitments given by Labour in its 2005 election manifesto, which pledged that the cards and the National Identity Register containing people's names, addresses, fingerprints and other information will be on a voluntary basis. The briefing notes released under the Freedom of Information Act show that civil servants had already been told ID cards would be compulsory for everyone by 2014. So I believe that Labour lied yet again, because I'm reading many reports that we will as soon as next year have digital ID cards. Apparently, these are for a range of activities from pub visits, dining out, shopping, opening bank accounts to paying taxes. Well, that certainly sounds like full-blown ID cards to me. So how did they manage to sneak this past? I'm sure they will promote this as a benefit for us. I mean, they always do. Some of the articles I've read are already promoting the fact that you won't have to worry about forgetting your driving license at home now. But they failed to mention some of the other benefits that you might be more interested in. Soon, with digital ID cards, you won't have to worry about paying your taxes on time or the correct amount. The government will likely just assess you and take it straight out of your bank account. Now, doesn't that seem nice and convenient? Starting to sound like remembering to bring your driving license for ID isn't that big a deal, is it? But maybe you would like the convenience of paying fines with your digital ID. You won't have to go through all the hassle of giving out your details when a lovely council worker or contractor, there's many of them now, deems that you have committed an offence. They'll probably just scan your phone and voila, all your details, and don't even worry about paying the fine on time. They'll just automatically take the money out of your bank account. Now, doesn't that seem nice and convenient? But this is the reality of digital ID cards. I can go on and give you many more instances of how digital ID cards will more than intrude on your privacy. I do intend to make another video exploring this in more detail in the future. But for now, I want everyone to spread the message. Do not willingly adopt digital ID cards. It may seem convenient for now, but it will destroy your privacy and freedom in the future. There was a previous petition titled "Legislate Against Any Form of Digital ID," which ended in May 2024. It didn't get many signatures, just over 11,000, and the Conservative government at the time, they did respond, and they said in their last paragraph, neither of these systems will be mandatory, and the government is not introducing national digital ID cards. So that was under the Conservative government, and maybe they weren't planning to introduce them back then, but we have a Labour government now. And you have to remember that they won't initially bring in forced digital ID cards. That's not how it works. They know it will be fiercely rejected. Instead, it will start voluntarily. They will sell you on the convenience, and once everyone has one, it will become compulsory. It will be too late by then. The government will control everything about you. They will know where you go, the people you meet, every one of your financial transactions. They will know everything about you. They will know what you eat, what time you sleep, what time you wake up, literally everything. And of course, once compulsory, you will be fined if you do not have your ID card with you. So don't think you can leave it at home if you don't want to be spied on. And eventually, digital ID cards will move from your phone to a microchip implant, similar to the ones we use in our pets. So if you've watched this far, you may be thinking I've gone a bit crazy and that will never happen. But believe me, it's on the cards unless we do something about it. You must resist digital IDs. Thank you for watching. Spread the message, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.